Hi, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto. Okay, so I'm just going to look at MultiversX and all that kind of stuff like I do every weekend. But first, I'm just going to look at Bitcoin because obviously Bitcoin is the big daddy and that kind of drags everything around. And when Bitcoin went down a bit on Friday, it pulled the altcoins down with it, including EGLD. And yeah, it's in a bit of a sorry state today, isn't it? I mean, for a while I'd been looking at this kind of parallel channel, and I did say on my free Telegram sort of that, you know, I'm not really worried as long as we stay in this channel. So, for example, when we came down, you know, from like 108,000 and we came down to sort of like, you know, 98 or so, I said if it bounces there, it'd be fine, and it didn't. It broke through there, and it sort of went a bit lower, and it went down to quite low actually, wasn't it? So 90, 93, something like that. It's amazing, really. I've been telling a friend of mine, I said, when we were right up here, I said, I reckon it might go back to 95. And I was kind of saying that because I was looking at the bottom of this channel, and I think we were back sort of here then. And I thought, well, you know, could at least go as low as that wick there that was on the 5th of December that was like 90k. So I was thinking 95 is reasonable. And partly because I was doing a long drive that day, and you know, I just wasn't looking at the charts. I was completely unable to take advantage of that sort of dump. Anyway, so that's that really. So I think this this parallel channel, I think we can forget about that for the moment. What I'm looking at now is this sort of line of resistance here, really. I suppose that should be red, shouldn't it, for like resistance? Let's make that red. There you go. Okay, now looking at this a bit closer, is that a valid trend line? It looks to me more like it should be sitting on these wicks here, maybe something like that. You need at least 3 touch points, don't you? If that's the case, then it looks like we are maybe trying to break out a little bit. But don't be surprised if this just does a little sort of fake out and comes back and then goes back up, you know. So it's realistic, I think, to expect prices, well, down to here, really, you know, down to sort of 92k and lower. And I don't think we're going to see any sort of major move upwards until we clearly break this line of resistance here. Anyway, that's my thoughts about Bitcoin. I'm not very good at TA, so don't take anything I say too seriously. The price of EGLD, that came down, as you'd expect, pretty much the same, really. I was a bit sad to see it go below $40 again, and it did go as low as like 29.8 on Friday. I really wanted to get in a trade with it on Friday, but I was driving. I just couldn't do it, unfortunately. I did actually buy some on spot at about 38, which I feel a bit daft for now. But my hope is that, you know, I'll just buy that and then sell it when it goes up a reasonable amount. And I'm sure it will at some point. There was a town hall with Benjamin Minku the other day, and as usual, I didn't really understand what he was talking about. I think there's going to be an office in the States, and they're doing some stuff. That's about it, really, but nothing that's going to directly benefit us, the users of the XExchange DEX. But let's go and have a look at that anyway. Now, I must admit the rewards are starting to look smaller now, but that might be because the price of MEX is down. Actually, let's have a quick look at the price of MEX. Yeah, you can see we're actually down about 33% from that recent high there. Yeah, we went as low as 42%. So yeah, pretty battered really. And we're not that far off the all-time low as well, which was in November. I mean, from that all-time low, we are at 34%, but that's not a lot considering the absolute battering this coin's taken over the years. So, you know, since November 21, it's lost almost all of its value. I suppose it does give potential to go back up though. Anyway, that's why I was seeing like really quite pitiful rewards here. And I hope that won't continue, but it might. You never know. Anyway, so yeah, let's have a quick check of things like I always do. So my energy is 2.52 billion. Now, every week that has actually gone up a little bit, even though I've not locked any more MEX, and I have no intention to lock any MEX either. So that's 2.52. The charge is 73%. And you can see that my most recently harvested MEX is unlocking on November the 15th, 2028. And my thinking is that as long as I'm still creating XMEX, my energy goes up slightly and I'm still creating XMEX. And even if I don't relock it, when the first lot starts to unlock, which is technically that, but it's this one here really, because this is what's coming from the farms. That one is on October the 22nd, 2027, which is now less than 3 years away. So in the liquid tokens, I've got some EGLD here. I've got quite a bit of EGLD because that's what I bought the other day, because I basically borrowed $3,000 from Hatem and I bought some EGLD. Then it went down in price. So unfortunately, I'm down about sort of $350 there. So that's a bit annoying. So I'll have to wait for the price of EGLD to go back up a little bit before I can do something with that. Everything else is tiny, apart from the A1X, which is what I bought last week. And as you'd expect, that went down as well. So that is actually annoyingly cheap at the moment, because that is 0.0079. And what we paid for at the launch pad was 0.006. So it's only slightly above the actual launch price. It is tempting to get a little bit more of that, just in case it goes up and maybe doubles or something. I can't see why it won't. So there's that. Hatem, yeah, it's nothing really, $14. Bobber is now worth $13 or whatever. Anyway, this is all just nothing really down here. So let's do a harvest and see what I get. Okay, I did that. I did also do some claims of ZPAY on my shopping pool and the super farm as well. So I should have a bit of ZPAY as well. Yeah, so I've got like $29 of ZPAY there. So the main thing I have more of now is XMEX. So my energy should have increased. 2.53 it says. 73%. Okay, so I think the only thing I might do today is I might just swap that ZPAY into EGLD. I mean, ZPAY have got an AMA between Christmas and New Year, but I think it's just probably just to say we're still alive, because visibly there's not much happening. You know, I think there's probably quite a bit happening behind the scenes, but what we're seeing externally is nothing really. So, you know, I think the price of ZPAY will probably just go down for a while. So it might make sense to swap that into EGLD. And I think that's pretty much all I can do, really. That MEX isn't worth anything. A1X, I'm going to leave that until it's worth a bit more. Hatem can stay there. That's not doing much. Yeah, the rest of it. Yeah, so it's not very exciting, really, is it? I can update my energy just to ensure I'm getting the maximum XMEX rewards. And like I say, the energy has increased by 0.01 billion, which I think is 10 million, is that right? And the charge is still the same. So while I'm still producing XMEX, and even without locking, the energy is increasing, which is okay. So yeah, there's not really much more I can say, really, is there? So if you've enjoyed that, please do give it a like. If you didn't like it, click dislike twice just to make sure. Do make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. Any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them, because at the moment I'm just getting so much spam, it's unbelievable. So it'd be nice to see some real comments in there as well. So yeah, do remember to like the video, and above all, tell your friends.
Save with Crypto is a totally dope YouTube channel. Many of you know that I always have my mind on my money and my money on my mind. If it's flipping crypto, I'm both, and be the best crypto flipper in the world. Whatever it is you do, you have to master your craft. Everyone should own Bitcoin, maybe a whole Bitcoin. They're no fun if the homies can't have none. The thing is, you don't get respect if you don't deserve it. Save with Crypto deserves the ultimate respect. Do like all his videos. Subscribe with notifications on all. And above all, tell your friends.